Hey guys, Coach Nathan here. Now within this video, as it suggests, I'm going to be going over 5 ways that I think you can fast track your weight loss results in 2023. 5 ways or 5 things that I think are seriously important when it comes to trying to lose weight as quick as you possibly can, right? Which realistically, that's what we're all after. There are a whole bunch of paths that you can take when it comes to weight loss, and my job as a coach is to try and make it as efficient as I possibly can, which basically means short amount of time with as much ease as possible, right? And these are 5 things that I will go over with majority of my clients, depending on their context, but I figured these 5 things could probably help you out a little bit. So if you get something out of it, don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and let's dive into the video. Okay, so like we said, we're gonna talk about 5 things to get your weight loss to move as quickly as we possibly can. We're gonna start with number 1, and the number 1 thing you need to do is you need to take a state of play. How overweight are you? You need to know how overweight you are. You need to know what your goal is in regards to weight loss. I know this is not actually giving you an action to lose the weight quickly, but this is so important if you want to get yourself to lose the weight as fast as you possibly can. You need to know where you're currently starting, which is what I call state of play. What is your state of play? How overweight are you? How do you feel? You need to think about really all of the negative things that you're going through at the moment because you are overweight or slightly overweight, however much weight that you want to lose. You need to understand what it is and where you're at so that you can start to think about how good it's gonna be when you start losing the weight, because really you're gonna go in and out of motivation. If you're looking at losing weight right this minute, like right now, you're probably highly motivated. So you want to take advantage of that and get these 5 things down pat. Where are you currently? So you need to weigh yourself, you need to make sure that you know what your goal weight is that you want to lose, and then you probably want to take some photos. You need to see what your current state of play is so that we can look at moving you forward. Another great thing within this same focus is tell others your goal. If you have a goal of weight loss and you know how much weight that you want to lose, tell your husband, tell your wife, tell people around you, I want to do X, Y, and Z, or I want to lose X, Y, and Z. It's just going to give you a little bit of accountability. It's going to be in the back of your head when things get tough, which it will get tough at some stage, especially if you're looking at losing weight extremely quickly. So that's going to be my first point, is you need to know where you are and where you want to go. So set that goal, know what it is, and you've got something to actually shoot for. There's no decision fatigue around what it is that you want. You know exactly where you have to go, and that's what you've got to do. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is you need a system to manage it. Okay, so some options for you are going to be things like weighing yourself every single day. Okay, weighing yourself every single day allows you to manage what you were doing. I get that you're not going to lose weight every single day, but it'll allow you to actually see what we call a trend line over time. Okay, over a 2 or 3 week period, are you losing weight or you're not losing weight? And obviously, if you're looking to fast track your results, you're going to want to make sure you know what that trend line is doing. So you want to manage things, and by doing something on a daily basis, you are what we call managing yourself. We call it self-management, and that is so important, not only to any weight loss goal, particularly if you're looking to lose weight really quickly. You want to know what you're doing. You need to manage it, okay? Some other things that you could manage would be food, quality and the quantity of your food. I think it's probably pretty obvious, but that's going to be something that you are probably going to want to manage if you were looking at losing weight particularly quickly. Okay, if that's a goal of yours at the moment, if you're really, really sick of how you're feeling and you want to get out of this little rut, managing yourself is going to be a fantastic way for you to get there. Okay, so let's say that you've set the goal, you've got your state of play, you know where you are currently, and you start managing yourself on a daily basis. You start doing self-reflection. All of that is involved in point number 2, which is self-management. Number 3 is a real big obvious, but a lot of people want to try and get away with how much they can have, but yet still lose weight. And my number three is get rid of the childlike food, or you might want to call it like the food-like products, okay? There would be a whole bunch of things that you know that you should be doing in regards to your diet and what you are eating that you probably shouldn't be eating. Now, I like to split it into two types of personality groups. You've got your moderators and you've got your abstainers, right? So you've got people who need to just stay away from certain foods, and you've also got people who can really moderate food. You need to figure out exactly which one you are. And if you're someone who needs to abstain from something, well, getting rid of, AKA junk food, AKA things that you just know that don't work for you, out of your house, out of your environment, out of your cupboards, out of your fridge, all of those sorts of things is going to be a big one. It sounds so obvious, right? But if you're looking at losing weight really, really quickly, getting rid of the highly palatable foods, getting rid of the junk foods, the foods that you crave, the foods that you have no control over. And if you have weight issues, you probably have these things in your life, these foods that you can't say no to. Alcohol could be another one as well, right? If you can't moderate and you can't keep it calm, well then maybe you have to get rid of it. That is my point number three, is do the obvious improvements. The obvious improvements are gonna be get rid of the non-whole foods in your diet, okay? If you've got your cupboard full of all these different things, you are just gonna make this whole, so much harder. And especially if you're trying to lose weight really, really quickly, it can be super hard if you just know that downstairs or wherever your kitchen is, that there's all this amazing food that you're going to be craving, or you could be craving, depending on how you go about your weight loss. If it's not there in the first place, you are going to find that you are going to be able to much better successfully lose the weight and obviously keep it on that path, which is going to make it even quicker for yourself, okay? That is going to be my section number three. It is absolutely important, okay? Just remove the shit out of your diet that you probably know you should, is a really good step, okay? And I call them, they're like childlike products, right? They're like food-like products. They're not really food. It's just that we tell ourselves that they're, everything in moderation is good. Well, sometimes if you're anything like me, I can't moderate, okay? If I have a little bit of it, I want a whole lot of bit of it. So it's actually easier for me to say no to all of it than to have a little bit of it. Now, the number four, we're getting close. We're almost getting to that point where it's almost at that number five. And number four is you need to move, but you need to move easily. So many people get wrapped up in intensity within their training, and it ends up doing them more worse than good. If you are training, or if you already have your regular routine, okay, volume is better than intensity. It's much better for you to train every single day, exercise every single day, however you want to look at it, than every couple of days because you're so sore. And this is something that I see all the time. People go, I'm gonna eat really little and I'm gonna exercise a whole bunch and go as hard as I possibly can. And you end up getting the body to really hate what you're doing, and you just get overly stressed, and it will yield you down a path that you probably don't want to be in, which is not getting weight loss as fast as you possibly can. So, although it may sound like a really good idea to go as hard as you possibly can with your training to get the weight loss to move faster, you are actually better off making it easier, and kind of think about an intensity that, like, while you're exercising, while you're doing whatever it is that you want to do, is that think, if I work out this hard, can I do it again tomorrow? That's the key. You should be able to do it again and again and again. So you look at over your 7 days or a 14-day period, you've probably only got 1 or 2 days off that you're having there out of recovery, rather than pushing yourself really, really hard, getting really sore, and you look at yourself over a 14-day period and you've only trained 2 or 3 times. They may have been intense, but you've only moved your body 2 or 3 times. If you're sore, if you're stiff and all these sorts of things, you're gonna find that you're more redundant also throughout the rest of the day, meaning that your daily steps are gonna be low, and you're just not gonna be as active because obviously you're sore and you're tired. Not to mention, being sore and tired also yields higher craving levels. So if you're trying to stick to a diet and you're trying to get all that crap out of your diet that we talked about in point number 3, well, that's gonna make it really hard if you're craving these things because you're overexerting yourself physically. Volume can also do the same thing, mind you, okay, but it's much harder. So I would say keep your training easy, Keep your movement really frequent though. Focus on volume over intensity. Especially if you want to fast track your results, you're going to want to make sure that you are doing more, not less, but harder. Okay? Focus on volume. Now, my point number 5, and you might laugh at this one, but I think this is the most important one out of all of them. You could probably suggest number 1's really important, like you need to know where you are, but let's go into point number 5. My section number 5 is your mindset. Where your head is at is really going to be critical, whether you lose weight just in general, or even whether you lose weight quickly or not quickly. Now, what I mean by your mindset is that weight loss, regardless how quick you want to make it or try and force it to happen, it is a long game. And coming to terms with that is a really hard thing. So although there are some paths that are shorter than others, there certainly are. That's my job at the end of the day, is to try and go, that's where you are, this is where you want to be, and I'm going to create the shortest path for you. That's my goal. However, I need to let you know that weight loss and keeping it off, permanent weight loss, is a long game. It's going to take you a really, really long time, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose, or especially if you're a yo-yo dieter, meaning that you've lost weight, regained it, lost weight, regained it, lost weight. There are so many things to consider. It takes a lot of time for your body to change, okay? And that, my point number 5, is why I think it's the most important, is that you need to get this thing sorted so that you can fix this. If you are not in it for the long game, if you are not in it for the change of lifestyle, you will not only lose the weight or get permanent weight loss, it really won't be quick either, okay? A lot of the time, it feels long, but it's actually the shortest path for you to get there, because you actually get there and you actually stay there. That's the key, is lose weight and keep it off, okay? Lose weight and keep it off, not just lose weight. Point number 5 has got to be driven into people's head. This is something that I will talk about with clients all day. You know what? Every single day, depending on where they're at within their journey, but their head has to be in a place where, you know what? You can't keep losing weight for the rest of your life. So once you've lost the weight, we've got to be able to maintain it. And that is hard. And that is a long game. The long game is the key. You changing your lifestyle rather than just doing a 12-week weight loss program, that's the mindset that you need. You are changing your life, which takes time. You can lose weight really quickly, but keeping it off takes a long time. Okay, so that's a really, really hard one to kind of come over. And I know this video is all about losing weight as quickly as you possibly can, but I think driving it home to finish these 5 things that I sort of brought up is that, you know what? It takes a long time. It took me many years to get myself in a position where I'm happy with my weight, I'm happy with my body composition, and I can perform well. I get to socialize, I get to live my life, but I also then have some rules in place so that I can obviously keep the results that I have had. That's my video. That is 5 ways that you can make sure that you can lose weight as quickly as you can. If you like the video, obviously hit like. If you have a comment for me, put down below. If you want to reach out to me, hey, send me a DM and I'd love to hear from you. All right, guys, thanks, bye.